Okay, let me see. Okay, I think I'm set up here. Okay, so this is a really quick live chat. Hopefully, I can do this in 15 minutes. Someone had asked in the last chat that I did when I covered job seeker questions about gaps of employment, job hopping, and really just how to address these things when you're on the job search, right? So, and hopefully you can hear me. Hi, Jayden. Nice to see you. So, it's tough, but it's not impossible. So, the reason I titled this, Is There Any Hope? Is because, yes, there is hope. And sometimes it just depends on your situation. But the main thing that I would tell someone that has gaps of employment and maybe they've had some job hopping in the past, maybe they were just trying to figure things out, is to take a step back and think about your situation. So, really look at, okay, I was job hopping from 2013 to 2016. What were the reasons for that? Because you want to go into any conversations, any job search, knowing what the obstacles will be, and you want to think about how you can address them because you already know a recruiter or a hiring team, they're going to ask you. And for some reason, if they don't ask you, well, then you're already prepared. So that's what we're going to talk about is really thinking through, okay, what were the reasons for the job hopping? What was the reason for the gap of employment? Okay. And hello, Brian. Hey, Justin. Hello, Angel. Welcome, Angel. Nice to see you. Okay, so thank you. Thank you so much, Brian. I see your comment. So yeah, it's tough, but that's where you want to start. You really want to start with understanding. I can't remember the name of the subscriber that brought this question up, but hopefully he's able to rewatch this. You want to dig in and understand the reasons why so that you can come up with a story because that's really what we want to hear as a recruiter. We want to understand, okay, hey, you were doing a lot of job hopping, you moved from this company to this company in, within the past, I don't know, couple years. What happened? What happens is when we ask this question, people are not ready for it. So you ask someone, okay, so why did you have this gap of employment? Uh, and then you kind of make up something. No, you need to think about it before you even apply to the job. You need to think about, okay, what am I saying were the reasons why? What was actually happening? Because different things come up. We're human. We can relate to things as well. So let's say you were just trying to figure out what type of job you wanted to do. You were learning, you were getting different skills, you were trying to find a place where you could be longer term. However, you really weren't finding that direct match. That's okay, but you need to be able to talk about it. Let's say you have a gap in employment because you were laid off. I think a lot of people, especially now in this year, understand that because more and more people have had that experience. Generally, recruiters will completely understand that, especially because a lot of us do have HR backgrounds and may have had to lay off people ourselves, may have even had an experience of having a layoff ourselves. So we can relate to that. But you want to be able to open up and tell us what actually happened and not just say, oh, well, I just kind of moved a little bit here and there. You don't want to be too generic to where we can't relate to you, right? You want to get our buy-in. So that's during an actual conversation when you're talking to someone. How about when you're just developing your resume and you already know, you're like, oh my gosh, I have all these gaps in employment, or I have all this job hopping that I've done in the past. How do you actually address that? Well, you guys know, if you've watched any of my other videos, I'm not really big on cover letters except in certain instances. This would be a good instance where you should develop a cover letter so you can directly explain it. Now, yes, there is a chance that the recruiter doesn't even look at your cover letter, but this is a good idea because you can actually explain some things. You can put that story that you would actually talk about up front. The other thing is, again, I don't typically suggest having an objective, which is that summary statement that you would put at the top of your resume. But this could be a nice situation where you can, let's say, and I've actually seen this before. I recruited someone in sales last year. Actually, no, it was earlier this year. Oh my gosh. Geez, time, guys. So it was earlier this year, actually. And she was in sales. And she had been a stay-at-home mom for years and did some side work as in like a fitness instructor or something like that, not related to the sales job that she was looking for. However, she had really good skills before that. So yes, she had this big gap of employment. However, what she did on her resume was she actually did a quick 1-2 sentence and said that she had been a stay-at-home for this period of time. So you already have that storyline, and a person seeing that can relate, right? They already kind of know, oh, they were a stay-at-home mom. Oh, and they were doing this as a fitness. Okay, I get the story. Because otherwise I would have seen they worked in sales a long time ago. Now they're a fitness instructor. What? And now they're trying to get back into sales. But having that objective, a couple of sentences right above on your resume, right where I'm going to look, right? At the top of the page. You know, I've had some videos where I talk about how you want to outline your resume. I've done some videos on TikTok as well, Jobs from Jess, if you're interested, where I literally just say, this is a resume. Bang, 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 right? But you definitely want to have it at the top of your resume so that people can see it immediately and understand and relate to it. Because a really big piece of getting a job sometimes it's just more about relating to the other person, getting them to trust you, getting them to really understand the experience that you have, and also really building that confidence that you have the confidence you are able to do this job. So not only do they trust you, do they kind of relate to you, they like you, but you're also instilling that confidence that you can do this job, you can do it well, right? So those are a couple tips that I would have for someone that is in the place where it's like, oh my gosh, I know I have these job gaps. I know I have been job hopping a little bit. You want to address it. So if you can address it in the resume, that's great because you want to tell a little story. Keep it to 1 or 2 pages, ideally, because, you know, I've said this a couple times, recruiters, we don't like to read books when we're looking at a resume. We're trying to get to the facts, like what's going on with you. Do I want to talk to you or do I not? Or do you fit the job requirements, right? So you want to make it kind of easy on us. The other thing is to, and this is the key where I see people go kind of wrong, is you do want to be ready to be asked. Just assume that you are going to be asked about your gaps of employment and assume that you're going to be asked about the job hopping. You want to be ready to address it. You don't want to avoid the conversation, right? Same with compensation. I say you don't want to avoid it, right? You want to address it head on, and you want to, at the end of the day, get the person to understand where you're coming from, and you want to be genuine. You know, don't make something up. Don't just say, oh, you know, and make up some wild story. We're gonna realize that. Like, come on. And other people through your interview process may ask you as well, and if something doesn't line up, it's gonna seem a little fishy. So those are my quick tips. Obviously, you're gonna have, you know, there's always a chance that someone doesn't want to move forward with you because of the job hopping. I don't really agree with that. I think that people should be giving a chance, unless you're out here saying like, oh, I just, you know, I don't know, I just didn't like this place, and I didn't like this place, and I didn't get along with these people, and I didn't get along with these people. That would show a trend of something that we may not want, which you not getting along with our people. So just really think about the response that you're going to give, and take a second before, again, this is before you start your job search, really, because I talked about in the last chat last week, we're strategizing before we start our job search, right? So you really want to identify, okay, I already know this is going to be something that they're going to ask me about. And so I want to be ready for it. So I hope that helps for the person that had asked about, okay, job hopping. gaps in employment. What do I do? Okay, and thank you, Angel, for telling me earlier that you could hear me. I appreciate that. Hello, Justin. Welcome in. And thank you, Brian, again. I appreciate you. Good day, Justin. Um, yes, yes. Thank you, Angel. I appreciate you both. Oh, Jaden is still in here. Hey, Jaden. I look forward to watching your video on the Black gender war. Seems like a recent popular topic of discussion. Oh, thank you, Justin. I appreciate that. Yeah, you know, there's a lot going on, and I really want more people, whether, Black, whatever. I'm trying to get this out. Um, but especially in the Black community, yes, there is a lot of division that I'm seeing. So I'm glad you enjoyed watching that video. Really want to start having some discussions there, but I also want to keep my base of why I started YouTube in the first place, which was to try to help people get a little more insight into what in the world recruiters and hiring managers are actually looking for with these jobs, because I 100% get it. I get the frustration because I've been there. I've had over 15 jobs, maybe more, just off the top of my head. So I get it. I do. Let's see. Thank you, Angel. The question prior to the interview. Yes. You want to be ready for it before the interviews. Let's see here. Okay, I think I've answered. I might have addressed all the questions in here. Hello, Sharky. Welcome in. How are you? How are you doing? Oh my gosh, those of you that watched yesterday, and thank you, Sharky, for being there. Thank you, Brian, for being there as well. Yeah, it was tough to have that conversation, but I just feel like it needs to be had because there's so much, and especially it's tough when you talk about the Black women community, and it's just like, oh my gosh, we don't need this. We don't need the division. And within our greater group, we don't need it. And it's just so many ways to divide people, and it doesn't help in the end. So, anyway, with this chat, I hope it's helpful. I'm going to stay on here for just a minute. I have like 3 minutes left before I will need to jump off, but I do want to address any questions because I do want to keep, stay true to my base and make sure I am also providing content for my job seekers out there and my folks that are just like, look, I might be a job seeker soon. I'm working on a video where I'm going to be talking about negotiation, trying to get this down to 1 minute. It's really tough to do. I'm trying, but we're going to have a video soon about negotiation tips, really simple tips, because I don't think it has to be this drawn out thing. It really comes down to just a few things, really, and I'm going to be making a video soon. It'll be posted sometime next week, so you'll see it, and it'll be really short and sweet. Let's see here. Oh, thank you, Angel. So it's been very helpful. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to stay on here 2 more minutes. Hopefully you guys are doing well. Today I'm going to be doing some errands, just getting some stuff done. I feel like I don't have clothing. I haven't really bought clothing during this whole planorama. That's what I'm gonna call it. I have not bought clothing, so I am going to take some time today. I should have done it last weekend, which was tax-free weekend, but hey, you live and you learn. I am going to be taking away some time just to get a few things, clothing items. Like I'm just like, I feel like I don't have clothes. Like I'm a minimalist, but yeah, I need some things. Justin is saying, a quick question. How important are soft skills in approaching the labor market? And for Black men, how does it impact them in their occupational outcomes from your experience? So I can really specifically talk about the recruitment that I've experienced when I'm trying to and have tried to get a person of color, a Black man, in the door at a company. I think it depends on your market, like what your location is. But when it comes to soft skills, they are always important. Always, no matter what, no matter who you are, whether you're a man, woman, or Black, white, Asian, Hispanic, like you're always going to want to have soft skills. This also is important for those that are in IT because a lot of people think, oh, in IT, I'm not talking to anyone. I don't need soft skills, but you do. You're going to talk to people, and people really want to understand if they hire someone, if I'm going to be your manager, how are you going to interact with me? So that's communication, right? How are you going to interact with your team? Collaboration. How are you going to work with others? They're very important. So I would tell someone if they are having some trouble with interviewing or if they're having trouble with just keeping a job or something, look into your soft skills. Like, how are you communicating with people? How are you collaborating with people? Do people feel like they can trust you? Do people feel like you're communicating well with them? You are managing your time, things like that. A lot of different soft skills do come into place. Yes, you do need the hard technical skills for sure. Yes, I would say soft skills is something that managers more and more and more have been asking for. You guys know that I worked heavily in tech recruitment at a multinational firm. And yeah, everything I would hear, because a lot of people will have the technical skills a lot of time, unless you're talking about some really niche skill sets, like maybe cybersecurity. But even within cybersecurity, people want to have soft skills. They want to know that you can communicate and you can communicate well with other people. You can manage your time. You can work well with other people. So that means you're not just solely saying, I'm just going to take it all on, or I'm not open to your ideas. Like all of these different things that are quote unquote soft skills are very much needed right now in the labor market. I've been hearing it for years, but more and more today, especially when you're talking about entry level folks. Sometimes you don't even have a lot to go off of. So I don't know where you are in your skill level, like if you're an entry level person, if you're mid level, senior level, Justin, but for entry level folks, a lot of times that's all they can kind of go off of because you may not have the technical skills thoroughly yet. It may not be there, but if you have those soft skills, if you can work with clients, if you can get in front of people and you can just communicate very clear and concisely, you sometimes that even trumps the technical skills, because I've heard managers say like, hey, I can teach them, I can train them on the technical stuff. I need them to already come in the door having soft skills. So to your point about Black men, I don't necessarily know if they always struggle, but I will say for certain jobs that I've recruited for, I do notice sometimes trouble communicating. This is not for your corporate jobs, right? This is more for the jobs I recruited where it's warehouse, where it's more hourly. I would say that happens more in those instances. But I can also say that I've recently had an instance where, a Black man wasn't communicating well, but I can't say that that is specific to Black men. Like it's just, can you communicate or can you not? I did make a video where I'm talking about language and this idea of talking white and things of that nature. So there are some trends that I see Black men do where they're just kind of like, yeah, and this and that, and using like filler words, and it does come off in a certain way. But as a recruiter, you try to weed through that as much as you can. But if it's consistent, that's not showing great communications. For example, if you're saying, and da da da, that's something that I have heard specifically from a Black man. And it's like, okay, once or twice, it's fine, but you can't keep just throughout the conversation not really saying anything real and just say, I've also had I've had women communicate and they're talking and they're not answering the question. So going in a circle. So a lot of people do it. I think really everyone needs to work on communication, especially today where we are in a place where we we do a lot of texting, right? We're not on the phone. That's another thing. I remember a hiring manager just said for this accounting role, she needed someone that can pick up a phone and talk to someone, not everything in email. And that's another soft skill. Can you communicate in various ways? Can you communicate verbally? Can you pick up a phone and just talk to someone? Can you go to someone's office? You know, this was when we were actually in offices heavily, and talk to them, look at them and talk to them, right? And have a nice conversation. So, again, to Justin's point, I don't think it's something solely for Black men, but I do think the communication issues show up in a different way. So we might have to do a follow-up conversation on that. But a lot of people have issues communicating today. And hello, G Daddy Media, welcome. And it was nice seeing you, Angel. I don't know if you're still in here or if you're out, but thanks for joining. Just scanning through here. Let's see. Am I going live shopping? Probably not. Look, when I go shopping, I'm kind of on a mission sometimes. There are some times where I'm like, oh, I'm enjoying this, but lately it's very much like, get what I need. What did I come here for? I need a blue dress, a red dress, a yellow dress. Did I find my dress? That's what. So I am starting to be just more like in and out. Like, did I get what I need? But maybe one day I will do a live shopping or live like, hey, I'm trying on this. Let's see. If I did do something like that, I probably would more so do that on Instagram. I probably, say, hey, look at what do you guys think about this? My Instagram is Miss Jessica Crystal. For anyone interested in that, I will put it up on the screen. Miss Jessica Crystal, if you're interested. And then Jobs from Dress, that's where I post jobs content. I've been kind of slacking on that lately, but I'm trying. I posted a new video today. I'm trying. Let's see. Oh, okay. Sharky is saying something to Brian. Hey, Percy. How are you? So where are you going? The outfit looks great on you. Hot date after life. No, this is not a hot date. I'm like, literally when I say I feel like I don't have a lot of clothing. I still have clothing at home with my mom from my move to New York and then my move to Dallas. So no, this is not like, to me, this is more casual. I'm not a hot date, although maybe I should. Maybe I should be going on a hot date. But no, in this daytime, I probably wouldn't be going on a hot date at like noon. I don't really do lunch dates. If I'm going on a date, it's normally a dinner, or hey, let's go check out a venue or something. But yeah, I don't really eat breakfast or lunch often, actually. Kind of bad. Kind of sporadic. Percy said, lucky guy. Oh man. Okay. Well, everyone, please do hit the like button before you leave. I'm going to close out and hopefully I answer the questions about job hopping and addressing gaps of employment. If you want me to make a full video, happy to do that. But those are my thoughts right now. Hit the resume, be prepared to talk about your gaps, just address it head on is really what I'll leave you with. And with that, thank you, Percy. But with that, I will close things out here and I will see you all later. I think I am planning to still do the discussion about Cynthia G. I'm still thinking about it. For now, I'm keeping it up for 9 p.m. Central Time, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. So maybe I'll see you there. It would be fun to see me electronic shopping like at a Best Buy or Apple store. Maybe I should go. Maybe I just need to hop in the Best Buy and act like I'm buying something. I don't know. Maybe a video coming soon. I will write that one down, Sharky. I will definitely write that one down. I'm gonna need some funds for that one because you're not just looping into Best Buy saying, "Ooh, let me do a little shopping." But anyway, thank you so much. We got a last question from Justin. What are your thoughts on software technology replacing recruiters? So I think there's been a trend of trying to get that happening, but what we're seeing, and I talk about artificial intelligence a lot, but what we're seeing is that people still want to see and talk to people, right? They don't want a computer just picking the person out. Managers want to talk to people, and to help them with that process, recruiters are here to actually have real conversations with people. So I'm all for software technologies that really help take some of the busy work away from recruiters' lives, like getting, I don't know, 1,000 applications down to 200 applications of real people that I really want to talk to based on if they match the requirements. However, we do run into some issues there as well, because there are certain things that humans can see in a resume that computers can't. And are you having some type of bias? Are you leaving out people because we're using these software technologies? So there's the good and the bad of that, right? But what I do see is that there's still a heavy need for recruiters because of the process. It's that process of, okay, getting that applicant to even meet the hiring manager and get the right people in front of the hiring manager. So that's what I say to that. Thank you for that comment. I will be talking about something else in another video next week. I'm trying to keep Saturdays for my job search, job seeker, conversations. So I appreciate everyone being here, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.